Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm currently learning Power BI and data analytics, and I decided to document my journey so that we can learn and improve together. And in this video, we are going to start from the beginning. I will show you how to download Power BI desktop, import an Excel dataset, clean and transform data, and finally, how to build your first interactive report. By the end of this video, we will understand the full workflow used in the real Power BI projects. So, let's get started. The first thing you need to know is that the Power BI desktop is completely free, and I recommend installing it from the Microsoft Store because updates happen automatically. To do that, you will have to open Microsoft Store and search for Power BI Desktop. Once you find it, you can click Install and wait a few minutes for installation to be complete. Once Power BI opens, this is the first screen that you will see. And don't worry if it looks unfamiliar. We will learn everything step by step while building our reports. So, in the center, Power BI shows different ways how to start working with the data. Most of the time, we will either start with a blank report or we will import data from the sources like Excel or databases like a SQL. On the left side, we have navigation options. The home section helps us start new project, while open allows us to work with existing reports. Sign in is optional and we can build our projects without signing in. As you already know, the best way to learn Power BI is by creating something together. So let's start with a blank report and create our first project. Now we are inside the main Power BI workspace where reports are created. At the first, it might look busy, but we only need to understand few areas to get started. The larger area in the center is called Report Canvas. This is where we build our visuals and design our reports. At the top, we have a ribbon where the most of the action, like importing data or creating new visuals, are located. On the right side, we have a visualization panel where we can choose charts and other visuals for our report. Right next to the visualization panel, we can find data panel, where once when we import data, our table and column will be presented. The best way to understand Power BI is by working with the real data. So let's import our Excel file. To do that, we can simply press here or we can go to Get Data. And here, as you can see, Power BI is connected to many different data sources. But Excel is one of the most common starting points. From now on, we will use a fictional coffee shop dataset prepared for this project. If you'd like to follow along step by step, you can download this dataset from the link in the video description. Now, let's open it. Power BI now shows all the sheets available inside the Excel file. Each sheet represents one table that we can use in our reports. Now we are going to select all three sheets: customer, products, and transaction. And instead of loading data, we are going to press transform data so that we can clean and prepare the data first. For transforming and cleaning data, Power BI uses a Power Query editor that we can see on the screen. And first thing I always like to check is whether our tables has a proper headers. Here we can see that we have three tables: customers, products, and transaction tables. We can also notice that our customer table does not have a proper headers. To fix that, we go to the Home tab and press Use First Row as a header. Now we can see that our table has a proper headers. On the right, we can also see all applied steps that we can change and remove at any moment. Second, and the most important step, is to check data type, because correct data types helps Power BI to calculate correctly and create relationships without issue. Now, I will click on the date column and make sure it is set to the date. Okay, now we can scroll to the right. As we can see, quantity is already set to the whole number. Unit price is set to decimal number as well as a total amount. And the salesperson is set as a text. This is alright and we can leave it like that. After I made sure that all our columns have a correct data type, I will remove columns that we don't need for reporting. Why this is important? Because keeping only relevance field make our data model cleaner and can also improve performance. So now we can go to the customer table. If we scroll to the right, we will see columns email, phone number, and fax that we will not need for our reporting. To remove them, I can simply select all three columns and go to the Home tab, press Remove Columns, or other way, I can right-click on this column and press Remove Columns. However, instead of removing columns one by one, I'm going to cancel this step. Power Query gives us another option where we can choose only the columns we want to keep. To do that, I will go to the Home tab and press Choose Columns. And here, we simply select the fields that are relevant for our analysis, like a custom IDs, first name, last name, city, join data, and we're going to uncheck email, phone number, and fax. We can now press OK. An important thing to remember is that these columns are not permanently deleted. If we press here and then choose columns, we can check all the columns later when we need them. For now, we are going to leave it as it is. Another simple but useful step is to clean text columns. Why? Because sometimes text columns, like a salesperson, can contain extra spaces that can cause filtering problems. To remove these extra spaces, we're going to use trim, which removes extra spaces from the beginning or the end of the text. To do that, we are going to select Salesperson column, go to Transform tab, then Format, and then we are going to apply Trim. In other cases, our dataset might contain two pieces of information inside one column, like for example, column state and a city. For reporting, it's better to separate them because then we can filter state and city independent. As we can see, our state and city are separated by space and open parentheses. So we are going to Transform tab. Then we are going to click Split Columns and split column by delimiter. Now we are going to choose our delimiter as a custom, and we are going to type our delimiter, which is a space and open parentheses. Then we are going to set split at the leftmost delimiter, and we are going to apply OK. Now, if you scroll to the right, you will see that we have on two new columns. First is a state, so we are going to rename it. Instead of state city 1, we are going to type state. The second column, state city 2, contains city, but also close parentheses. To remove this closed parentheses, we are going to select this column and we are going to Transform tab. Then we will use Replace Value. So what we want to replace is close parentheses. With what we want to replace is with nothing. We are just going to press OK. Now, as you can see, there are no any more closed parentheses. So we can just rename our column to the city. This transformation will make filtering and analysis much easier later. Another quick cleaning step that we can perform is to remove empty rows. Why? Because sometimes Excel files contain completely blank rows that don't add any value. To do that, I will go to Home tab, search for Remove Rows, and then select Remove Blank Rows. And this removes any rows where all fields are empty. The next thing that is important to know is that the measurement tables, like customers and products, should have unique IDs. So, I will make sure that there are no duplicates by quickly removing them. To do that, I'm going to select Product ID columns. Then I'm going to the Home tab, search for Remove Rows, and select Remove Duplicates. Perfect! Now the data is cleaner and structured well. The next step is to load everything into Power BI so we can build our models and start creating visuals. To do it, I will click Close and Apply, and Power BI will load the clean data into the report. As I've already mentioned before, once we import data into Power BI, we can see this data inside Data panel. Here, we can see all three tables. Now we can expand them to see our columns. Before we start to build our visuals, it's important to quickly check how our tables are connected because Power BI creates relationship between tables when possible. So, to control it, let's switch to the model view. Here, we can see that our transactions table is connected to both customers table and products table using their ID columns. This relationship allows Power BI to combine data from different tables when we build our visuals. Now that our data model is ready, we can start building our first report. So let's go back to report view and create something simple. As a first visual, I'm going to create cart visual to show our total sales. So I will select cart visual from the visualization panel and I will select total amount from our table transactions. And as you can see, Power BI automatically sum the value, giving us the total revenue, and this gives us a quick overview of overall performance. And that's it! We have created our first visual. Now let's break down sales by product category. To do it, I will choose column chart and as the x-axis, I will use category. For y-axis, I will use total amount. And voila! Now we can clearly see that our coffee category generates the most revenue. Another important perspective is time. So let's create a line chart to analyze how our sales change over time. To do it, I will use a date as the x-axis and I will use total amount as y-axis. And there it is. Now we can analyze our trends and identify patterns over the time. One of the powerful features of Power BI is interactivity. For example, we might want to see how our total revenue or revenue over time change for one category. There are two ways to see this. First way is to select category we are interested in. For example, I'm going to select hot drink on our column chart. And as you can see, our total revenue and revenue over time had changed. Another way is adding slicer using category. Now we can click to the hot drink and we see that all of our three visuals had changed. And with that, we completed our first Power BI beginning project. In the next video, we continue improving this report and exploring how to make it more useful and professional. So, if you're also learning Power BI, feel free to share in the comments which part was most useful or what would you like me to explore more.